3, 2, 1. The 49ers just got embarrassed. A 38-10 loss in Green Bay. The excuses are already flying. Kyle Shanahan started Brandon Allen with a broken finger. A healthy Josh Dobbs was completely overlooked. Sloppy penalties, uninspired play, zero accountability. This isn't just a bad loss. It seems like signs that the team is unraveling. If there's a problem, we're going to talk about it. If there is greatness, we will celebrate it. This is the 49 Problem.
Yeah, this is Kyle Shanahan. You are now tuning into the 49 Problems, where these two guys try to act like they know more than me. All they do is talk shit. 100% unfiltered, cut fan reactions. Here to talk about all the drama. And now your hosts, Kyle J. Vigil and Ray J. Garcia. Souls.
Pay attention to all that shit.
So they know it's a parody?
Yeah, they know that Shanahan started it by calling us assholes.
Yeah, but Shanahan started it. He should have never opened his mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now officially tuning in to episode 34 of the 49 Problems. I am your host, Kyle J. Vigil, joined today by the esteemed, the one and only, my co-host, the great
Ray J. Garcia.
Ray J. Garcia. We are live recording on Sunday, November 20th. Sorry, I already want to get through this month. I'm tired of the 49ers losing. I'm ready to get over it. But unfortunately, we are standing here in front of you today on the heels of yet another 49ers loss, our second loss in a row, sixth loss on the year. 49ers are currently at 5-6. Terrible news. I can't say we didn't expect it, but I put my clown face paint on this week, and we thought the 49ers could have pulled something out of their ass. I said it before the start of this game. Kyle Shanahan was going to have to coach the game of his life if we wanted any playoff hopes. Unfortunately, that didn't happen today. But I didn't even get to see the game. Ray, I was busy today. You said it, like after the Brock Purdy injury this season or earlier this week, it was kind of one of those things where it was like, I think deep down inside we kind of knew this wasn't going to be a very, how would you say, successful game for us this week.
As I've been saying for the past 2 or 3 weeks, faithful but no faith.
Technical difficulty. Start the pod, just like the 49ers.
Faithful but no faith. You know, I don't put a whole lot into the 49ers winning that.
You left off with, like you were saying last week, faithful but no faith.
Last couple of weeks, faithful but no faith. It just gets worse and worse every week. This last game, Brock Purdy's shoulder, got shoulder soreness, and Shanahan downplays it to us, like, hey, we're just going to let him rest, blah, blah, blah. Then it's like, oh, MRIs, with
rehab.
Coming from the MRI, it looks good. We don't have no serious concerns to, Brock Purdy ain't playing, to Mooney Ward's out, to Trent Williams possibly out, to, you know what I mean?
Debo Samuel's out. Oh, no, Nick Bosa was out. Debo Samuel played today. We want to do your laundry? We're red. We're all over the place, just like the 49ers this season.
Yeah, we're a little bit. So anyways, we on?
Yeah, we on. We red.
So anyways, going through, Nick Bosa's hurt. Brock Purdy's hurt. Trent Williams out. Tarvarius Ward out. Just the deck was stacked against us from the start.
Yeah.
Just once they gave the injury report.
You know what's so crazy to me, though? I feel like if we had that injury report coming off of a win last week, I feel like some of those guys would have played through. So, like, me and you kind of touched on it earlier. We were talking about how, our what we do on this podcast, like we're fans. We react. We're a reactionary podcast. We're prisoners of the moment. We react to everything that's gotten us to this point. A prisoner of the moment. We do this live. We do these
This is just our reactions, our opinions. It ain't nothing official. This ain't nothing that's going to the Niners organization saying this is what the media thinks about this. I mean, it might be, but this is just as fans, our opinions.
Yeah, and then
some agree with this, some don't.
And within this week, you and I, like coming off of last week, we did one episode literally right after the game. Those clips from that episode, we like, that's what I think 49ers fan base is literally divided right now. You know, you got the Kyle Shanahan slurpers, and you got the Kyle Shanahan usurpers. You know what I mean? like we got the dudes that want to get him out, and you got the dudes that want to suck him off and let him retire a 49er. But yeah, dude, just the situation that the 49ers find themselves in right now. Like, so I said if the 49ers had won last week, you know, I feel like some of these guys might have played through injury, might have been like, okay, we won, like let's keep the streak going, like we're fighting for this playoffs. And so I said it to you earlier, I didn't like, I wasn't trying to get a reaction out of you, but you didn't really react to it. Like I've been saying, like, and it's maybe this is why some people get offended by some of the things I say, because I don't mince my words. And it's like, yeah, if I was sitting across from another individual, like with all due respect, like I might not be like, hey, you ain't shit. But at the same time too, like I'm willing to have that conversation with someone like, hey,
your ass.
I don't know about Trent Williams. That's a big boy.
Shit, Sherman did.
Did he? Oh, that's right.
Sherman did. Somebody else did. Somebody socked him. Patrick Peterson.
Yeah.
Like that. Somebody socked
him. My son got me a little cold, so if I sound a little off, that's why Ray rolled us up to. These are authentic. Look at these things. Just baseball bats.
Better than bitches in Havana.
Better than bitches in Havana. You bring, what does he say? 2 rules. You bring any bitches in this house? No, that's a different movie. Don't be a menace. I'm tripping. Nah, so last season, bro, and the reason why I said this week and why I got so like upset, this is me being a fan, reacting to everything, right? Last year, I remember Trent having an interview where he said he wanted to break the Pro Bowl record for a player, and I believe it's 15 Pro Bowls, and I think he's at 12 or 13 right now. I could be off by those numbers, right? But I remember it being like he would have to play for 3 or 4 more years and get Pro Bowls in order to break the Pro Bowl record, right? As soon as the offseason rolls around, what was the first thing Trent did? He holds out. Even flirted with retirement, as some people were saying. That he said that if he don't get paid, that he'll just retire. And I'm like, well, that contradicts what you said last year about you wanting to be, you know, Pro Bowl record breaker. And then I start thinking like, well, why is Trent Williams, who, okay, he is the best at his position, right? But I just take that as face value. That's what people tell me he is, right? I would have to go look at the numbers. Oh, he's only giving up this many sacks. Okay, cool, right? What have any other left tackle done in the league? Like, I don't know, right? I'm being a fan.
Yeah, Trent Williams is dominant. He is. Trent Williams is looked at in the NFL as the bull.
Or the best.
Well, no, a lot of people just say he's a
silverback gorilla.
Yeah, he's just a bully. You know, that's when they have to face him. They're like, we got our work cut out for it.
Yeah, and yeah. So like I seen that, and I remember, you know, just like Debo, like when Debo finally asked for a trade, and you know, just like I didn't really get upset with Brandon Ayuk because I felt like once I seen it with Debo, I'm like, okay, they're all just following the Debo playbook now, you know. But you know, Trent didn't ask for a trade technically, but so I'm not. We were talking about it earlier, like new fans, right? A lot of people were calling us new fans. And last week when you criticized Shanahan, that's the clip that I posted. Did you see it?
I don't get on social media that much. Where you follow me at Ray at 49 Problemz on Instagram.
I'll be slow right now.
Go down.
But so that specific clip, it was right after last week's game when we lost to Seattle and Geno Smith. You were like, I'm done with Shanahan. You know, I don't support him. You're like, I don't want to, you know, I'm over that. Faith but no faith, right? So a lot of people are saying we're new fans. And they go, do you not remember the Chip Kelly and Jim Tomsula era? As if they were co-coaches and they both, you know, like they both coached for those 2 years. Like,
I do remember that era. I remember the fucking.
It was only 2 years.
I remember the. You brought him up earlier. What's his name? Pulled his pants down.
Davis? Singletary.
Mike Singletary era. I also remember the Jim Harbaugh era.
The Nolan era.
I also remember the Mike Nolan era. I also remember the fucking
Mariucci.
Steve Mariucci era. You know what I mean? The George Seifert era.
Yeah, so I think it's funny.
I'm not going to say the Bill Walsh because that was when I was big.
Yeah.
George Seifert era is really the first era I could remember. You know, 49er.
Yeah. So one of the things that, like I said, like people are saying we're new fans and they bring that up. And then I'm like, okay, well, I think I've been a fan of the NFL long enough to be like, oh, this dude's a cool player. Like I like this. Like I like Saquon Barkley. Dude's a fucking beast. You know what I mean? Like I don't like Philadelphia.
Here's my thing. There's nobody out there better right now than Shanahan to coach us, and I agree with you. But my personal opinion is Shanahan is the shitty coach. We're never going to win the Super Bowl with him. It's been proven that he loses games when he's up.
He's a 500 coach.
You can't count a lead, multiple score lead as a win with Shanahan. You got to fucking, grip the edge of your seats until there's less than 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, there's no holding your breath with this team.
And hope that team ain't driving at that time. So if they drive and score, still got a chance to kick the onside and get it back and do it again, they probably will.
Yeah.
It's proven under Shanahan.
Even if we got to the playoffs, bro.
You don't have to agree with me or agree with us that Shanahan's a good coach or he's the best option. He is the best option out there.
And I think that's what's so funny.
Available. There's other options that are out there.
He is
they're not available.
He is the 49ers best available option when you put it in those terms.
So, just my opinion is he's a shitty ass coach. He's given up multiple games with multiple score leads and big games, not only regular season games, big games. Every divisional game that we played against the Rams, the Seattle
fourth quarter loss,
and Arizona, we had the lead in the fourth quarter with fucking 5 minutes left, and then we turn around and lose them.
Tampa Bay barely won that
2
game.
minutes, all of them 2 minutes, under 3 minutes.
Yeah,
we were leading, turn around and lose them. So
yeah, I think a lot of people are holding on to like what Shanahan did for this offense and or for this team, for this organization, in terms of, but they act, and this was another thing, right? Is they act like it happened right away.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna counter that right now. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, because you hit a couple good points. So I just what I wanted to say was, like, I've been a fan of the NFL long enough to see, like, oh, like, this dude, that's a cool player. I like this player, or I like this coach. You know what I mean? Like, that's a cool coach. Like, oh, I wonder what that would do for the Niners one day. So that's how I know the difference between like OG fans and newer fans, because a lot of these guys are fans. Like, I'm a huge supporter of the homegrown team, right? Who we draft. Now that doesn't mean I don't support McCaffrey. McCaffrey was a free agent pickup, right? But they didn't draft him. They didn't develop him. You know what I mean? So I look at some of these players a little bit. I look at some of these players a little bit differently now. I look at them as free agents, right? And Trent Williams is one of them. And I go, Trent Williams never played on a good team, bro. The only time Washington was ever good was when they had RG3 and they had Kyle Shanahan. And then Trent Williams, in his own words, was going to go play for Kansas City if Kyle Shanahan didn't get the 49ers to pay him enough money. That was how he came to San Francisco in the first place when he left Washington. He was this close to signing with Kansas City. And like, okay, cool, right? He was never fully signed on as a 49er. He's a free agent. Like, he goes where the money goes. And now I'm like, you seen him on the sideline. He was practicing all week. He was over there doing his little high steps, and they were like, oh, he's questionable to the last minute.
We had the same conversation about Bosa.
What, last year or earlier this year?
When he was up for his Niner, he was more about an individual and about his money, and that's kind of where he's getting at.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Kind of got that. I remember hearing that from you. You kind of put me on that, like that thought process, and now I can see it. I see it more with more than just Bosa now. So like today, I said that, like, oh, some guy told me I was wrong. Like it don't matter, right? You could say one name, get rid of Kyle. The moment you start, but there's going to be, 30% of 49er fans aren't going to like you saying that. I go get rid of Trent, and now I've enraged 40% of 49er fans. I put get rid of Debo, 45% of 49er fans. I said, and maybe even Bosa. Bro, I lost them. They got mad at me.
Bosa bought in. See, Bosa, he bought in as soon as he got paid. Trent got paid, and he's just being greedy.
Yeah.
Trent just wants to be greedy. You know what I mean? You're kind of at the end of your career, and he's trying to maximize everything he can. And the fucked up thing is, if the Niners don't pay him, somebody will.
And the reason why he pissed me off this week too, right, is because he did an interview this week. He talked about how last year after the Super Bowl, he went to go talk to LeBron James about longevity. And I'm like, you're contradicting yourself in front of the 49ers fans, bro. You sat here
and make his career last long.
Yeah, and like you sat here and told us you were going to retire if 49ers didn't pay you. And to me, I'm like, so as a fan, like I feel like he kind of lost my respect. Like you know what I mean? Like in terms of like, okay, you're not a 49er. You're here to get the job done. Okay, so then get the job done. What? Like I see people saying that we should bench McCaffrey now. And I'm like, so we're just paying these dudes to not play then? If he's healthy, he has to play. You're not playing for next year, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But to get back on the Shanahan, all these fans saying that we're new fans and we don't know shit. So when Shanahan started this and we first went to, where did we go? Fucking NFC Championship for his first season?
No, dude, his first two seasons were losing seasons.
And then we went to NFC Championship.
His third year.
Then we went to Super Bowl.
Well, his third year was NFC Championship Super Bowl. 2019. 2020, same exact shit as this year. Everyone was banged up. Kyle Shanahan couldn't coach without his quarterback. Defense couldn't do shit without Nick Bosa. He had one good year.
What I'm getting at is back then he had Mike McDaniels as offensive coordinator. He had Robert Saleh as his defensive coordinator. He had his name's fucking slipped my mind. Houston.
Oh, DeMeco Ryans.
DeMeco Ryans is his linebackers coach,
yeah.
Position coach. Yeah, they were doing good.
Yeah.
And then Robert Saleh leaves. Slowly, the defense declines.
It got
worse.
What do you mean until DeMeco kind of got better?
Got worse under DeMeco than Robert. Our defensive numbers declined under DeMeco.
I want to say
just not enough to make a difference. They were still able to maintain.
No, but I want to say DeMeco's second year was our best year under Shanahan defensively, which was his last year with the Niners.
When DeMeco left, his defensive stats were lower than.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. And Steve Wilkes actually brought them back, and 49ers scapegoated him. But anyways.
But what I'm getting at is Saleh leaves, DeMeco takes over. He does a good job, but they're statistically they're declining in the defense.
Yeah.
DeMeco gets a head coaching position, right? So now we got fucking Steve Wilkes, who I don't think their numbers did.
No, they got better.
No, they declined even worse.
Bro, he finished with top 5 defense in almost every category.
And they were saying it got worse. That's why they let him go.
Well, they said they let him go because he lost the locker room.
He lost. Well, throughout that, he lost McDaniels.
Yeah.
He lost DeMeco. He lost Saleh. So now he's starting to blame the players as why he ain't doing it. You know, it's not.
So you're swerving into a topic I kind of wanted to hit on.
To you guys saying we're new fans or we're not real fans, I mean, the decline came with him losing his staff to head coaching positions and him thinking he's going to turn those into picks and carry them along. Well, you don't got nobody that you could, fall back on now. You're starting to get rid of coaches, firing coaches. So you don't have nothing to fall back on.
And his inadequacies as a head coach, they made up for that. The Super Bowl window also included all of these coordinators.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is he went from his assistants and his coaches moving on to getting head coaching positions to now he's firing coaches because you know what I mean? Yeah, they made it up for his inadequacies. The DeMeco Ryans and Robert Saleh, made up for that with the offensive lack. And just like I said, as he lost his coaching staff, his coaching declined, but we're new fans. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. We're new fans.
Just saying.
We don't even know.
Maybe honestly, you guys should look into it a little bit more than just watching on Sundays and just saying, "Oh, well, no, he coached a good game." Brock Purdy threw to the wrong receiver, or Brandon Ayuk was open on the under route.
Yeah, like if you look at the score,
but he changed his route, and Purdy should have seen it. Purdy did see it, but he didn't expect him to be there, so he kind of glanced past it. But
if you look at the score in this game, everyone's going to blame the defense, right? Like if you don't know any better. Have you gone through the game at all?
I watched part of it. Mustafa had a pick called back due to penalties. So, I mean, there was a lot of penalties, bro.
Yeah.
There was a lot of penalties. We hung around in this game. They let us hang around in this game to make us feel like fans feel like there was always an opportunity until finally they just fucking ran away with it. It wasn't too far out of grasp for the whole game until quarter.
But yeah, so like I was saying, like I've seen a lot of people saying like already blaming the defense, but offensively, you know, I posted a video like sarcastically earlier or yesterday, where I was praying for the 49 to the football gods, you know, for a win. And I was saying how the fan base was hyping up Brandon Allen, trying to convince us that he was gonna get the W. Like, because like I'm all for it, right? Like I'm here to support the fan base or support the team, but I'm also like, let's be honest, bro. Like this dude's not gonna do shit tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Let's be honest.
Lesbian. Let's listen to Kyle. This is what Kyle Shanahan had to say after the game.
This was real disappointing. You know, I thought we got out of a gaps a number of times. I thought we had way too many missed tackles. Just them being able to control that clock in the first half was one of the worst ones I've been a part of, just for as far as a half. I thought we stepped it up there in the second half, did better, especially in the run game. Offense got an opportunity to get going. They gave us an opportunity to get back in the game, and then to have those 3 turnovers, and that all 3 led to touchdowns, so 21 points. You top that with the penalties and stuff, and that's how you get embarrassed like that. The first half, just the run defense was real disappointing.
But he's talking about turnovers, but these are the guys that he chose to put in the fucking in position to make, you know what I mean, to be on that field today, dude. You know, again, he's blaming the roster. The only thing I seen him really step up and say was that those 2 12-mans, he's like, oh, that second one is on us. Like, they're both on you. You know what I mean? Like, they're both on you. Like,
I mean, he had pretty good explanation out on the first one.
But my only thing is that regardless of all,
supposed to have time to sub and.
But okay, so it's like I don't know the details of what happened in that moment, but what I was gonna say is that hasn't happened all year. So regardless of anything else that's going on with you, you're being criticized for your coaching, and you allow that to happen in 2 back-to-back plays.
So what he said on that one was the first one is they subbed a player, and the rule is if they're subbed, you're supposed to be allowed time to sub. When they subbed, they were trying to sub a player in and got caught. So he was arguing with the referee about it, and pretty much what was done was done. So the very next play, they're trying to do the same thing and sub a player and do a quick sub and not give them the opportunities. He's arguing with the referee, so the referee stops it and gives them time to sub, and that's when there was 12 guys. That's why he said that one's on us, because I argued for us to get it, and they gave it to us, and then we fucked up.
So we have another instance of Kyle Shanahan not knowing the rules, or he knew the rules.
So look, man, as much as I'm a hater, I give him credit. You know what I mean? I can't just be completely negative on the dude. He has gotten us stuck in.
Yeah, that's what, like, I try to tell people, like, it's not about what he can and can't do. Break time. Oh, she was checking to see if there was nuts. No, yeah, I do like.
You want another beer?
No, I'm okay right now. That's the thing. That's what's great about being a fan, bro. Like you still get to live in with all those moments, all the great moments. You know what I mean? You get you can't take that away. Like, a lot of people are like, this many championships, this many Super Bowls, and it's like, yeah, okay, cool, right? And they go like, no other coach. There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee that if we keep Kyle Shanahan, we ever get back there ever again. We're not getting back there this year. You know what I mean? So like at the end of the day, it's a sell either way. You know what I mean?
Next year, I think the team's going to look completely different. I think it's going to have a facelift.
And
You know
I
what
think,
mean? And
that could be like a
if we keep Shanahan, are we just putting lipstick on a pig?
calling her Purdy, Brock Purdy.
Not
another.
not talking shit because I like Brock.
No, but there's a whole.
I think he's. I
Yeah.
don't think there's a better quarterback.
There's a whole
So
thing.
not where you guys get all riled up.
Yeah.
We're talking shit about Brock Purdy. I'm sold on Brock Purdy. He's the future of a franchise. There's nobody better right now to replace him.
Well, there's a whole slew of debates that we can get into just based off of that. And
You don't agree?
no. I was gonna say everyone's talking about the Daniel Jones shit.
I said Daniel Jones as a solid backup. Look, put it this way. If we had Daniel Jones in there today rather than Brandon Allen, even Josh Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs, I think he's better than DJ
Josh
Jones.
Dobbs gave us an opportunity to win that game, bro. Like I said, they let us hang around in that game up until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So
And that's the other thing we didn't even talk.
You know, we ain't talked about fucking why Shanahan. Okay,
With broken finger, bro.
To you guys that say we're fucking new fans of Shanahan, why would you start an injured quarterback? Yeah, it's his non-throwing hand, but he still has to go under center and receive a snap. He still has to go out of shotgun and receive a snap, which the ball is hitting that fucking broken finger. So why would you not go with a healthier, fresher guy? I mean, yeah, he's a little bit older, but he's got the experience and he's won.
And then he want to come out here and
won in the league.
And then he want to come out here and say the 3 turnovers didn't help with the loss. Like, bro, you put them in that position. You know what I mean?
Pause.
No, did he? Okay, not sure exactly where we left off, Ray, but you wanted to get into the whole. I know you touched on the Mason ran that big play. I seen a lot of people talking about that.
Well, I was just getting ready to say about how we're casual new fans who don't know shit about football, and
of course,
Shanahan's the greatest coach of all
time.
Jordan Mason was a top 5 running back in the league until McCaffrey came back, and then he became obsolete. Tonight they put they put Mason on the field and broke off with like a 12-yard run, something like that. You know what I mean? And it put McCaffrey back in there. You know what I mean? Why not continue to mix it up? Why not use them both? Shanahan wants to stick with one. You got all that talent on your team, and you stick with. It's not even sticking with what works because it's not working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take some chances, Shanahan. Fuck. You know what I mean? You've proven.
Especially if we are in a rebuild season, why are they leaning so heavily on this?
I feel like it's a rebuild season. Look, I feel like the team's going to be completely different next year. It's going to be a completely different. You know, we're not going to have Debo. Probably not going to have Trent Williams.
So today we didn't see no Durando at all.
Nope.
Jordan Mason for only 3 carries, and Christian McCaffrey 11 for 31 yards. Bro, going into this game, I didn't think the 49ers would be inclined to pass that much with Brandon Allen. I thought this would be okay. We're going to lean heavy on the run. You know, at least a 2-headed monster. It doesn't make no sense, bro. And hey, I told you earlier, like I think Kyle Shanahan is asking to get fired at this point. These are just weird ass decisions. You completely eliminated the usage of Jordan Mason. Like you said, he was on a historical run as a 49ers running back. Well, right? Like as a fan, like you're not
over 5 yards.
This is why I tell people, like you're not a fan of the coach. Like you're like, yeah, you can be a fan of the coach, but ultimately you're a fan of the organization, or you're a fan of the. There is different types of fans, I guess. Like now that I'm thinking about it, like, and I think that's where the difference is, right? Like where you and I, the whole basis of this podcast is red and gold till I'm dead and cold. That means we are loyal to the dynasty, to the organization, the standard that they set. Bill Walsh and Joe Montana. That is the foundation of what it means to be a 49ers fan. Now you have, you know, this new fan base that came along with Kyle Juszczyk, came along with Trent Williams, came along with Kyle Shanahan, came along with fucking.
I don't want your duties.
It was butt to butt. It was butt to butt. But, you know, again, there's always going to be a difference of opinion. But yeah, dude, this whole thing, right, with Jordan Mason, he's already been on the bench for fucking 3 years. This is year 4. If we don't sign him this offseason, he's going to be gone. He's shown that with what little development he could have one of the most, you know, he could be a top 5 running back. You know,
I would say little development. He's got a lot of development, and he's proven he took an advantage of it.
Well, I mean, like, but on the field opportunity, like, was limited up until this season. You know what I mean? And this is year 4 for him, right? And the 49ers are going to have to re-sign him, and they're going to lose him next year. And then we're going to be stuck with a banged-up McCaffrey. Look at Philadelphia. Philadelphia is balling with Saquon Barkley. Baltimore is balling with Derrick Henry.
No, I think if we lose JP, he's going to get started somewhere.
Most definitely. He'll probably end up going. I wouldn't be surprised, bro. Like, we are in the shittiest division right now. We are in the weirdest division right now. Yeah, he'll probably go to fucking the Rams.
He'll probably go to like Carolina or something.
Earlier, we were talking about a lot of people say, okay, if we fire Shanahan, who do we sign? And I was telling you, I was looking at like coaches that have been to Super Bowls or who have Super Bowls. and like how you separate greatest coaches for like the greatest Super Bowl winning coaches are always tied historically to their quarterbacks who are historically some of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, right? Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes.
You always have, like, I mean, that's like you said, it goes quarterback, coach, quarterback combo.
Yeah. Well, so right now, right? So I was saying I was looking at coaches that have won Super Bowls and are still in the league, right? And who are kind of on the hot seat, right? Mike McCarthy out of the question. Aaron Rodgers got him his Super Bowl. John Harbaugh not necessarily on the hot seat. He's actually doing pretty well in Baltimore, but his Super Bowl, you could say, was I was telling you earlier, kind of like when Flacco was in his prime. When Flacco, you really think that?
Yeah.
Then you got like what Doug Peterson. I talked about him earlier. He might not saying like he could come into the Niners and change the culture, but he has a winning. He could be like, hey, I won without a top Hall of Fame quarterback. You won with Nick Foles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you got, well, not saying that they would get rid of McVay, but some interesting thing that I thought about, right? You got the Shanahan tree. It's Shanahan and McVay. They both got hired at the same time. And it was like a race to see who would get to the Super Bowl first, right? McVay got there first and lost to Brady with Goff. That's when he had Goff. And then he got back again by beating us. And then he beat the Bengals. So he won a Super Bowl, right? So McVay, out of this whole Shanahan, McVay, LaFleur, that extended into Saleh, DeMeco Ryans, McDaniel, out of all of them, McVay's already got the beat. But Kyle Shanahan, the rest of them, Kyle Shanahan just got beat by Matt LaFleur. He has the best chance of winning a Super Bowl this year of what's left. Robert Saleh got fired from being a head coach. DeMeco Ryans, he's had some success last year, this year pending, but looking pretty good still. Mike McDaniel, inconsistent, And
without Tua, Mike McDaniel shit.
But they're all the same system. I've seen a lot of people talking about this. They all have the same systems. We just got beat. Whatever LaFleur is doing, he's doing something good in Green Bay. But I like what they did last year. We played to the last minute in the playoffs and until Jordan Love threw that interception across his body. We should have seen it coming, bro. Like if you just look at like me, the NFL well, and like when teams like we've seen us have last year, we wanted to get revenge so bad on Philadelphia for what happened in the NFC Championship game. 49ers scraped Philly, and they fucking knocked Philly in the mouth. Philly didn't know what to do after they played San Francisco, and they went on like a 6-game losing streak. This year, bro, like everyone's coming for the 49ers head, and Green Bay was just another prime example. Like they kind of put a statement, like not saying like because the 49ers aren't a team to like, they haven't been a dominant fear-inducing team. So it's not that like someone can hang a feather in their cap and be like, oh, we beat the 49ers, but I know like psychologically that plays a lot into Green Bay what they got going on there. Next 2 games, and we would have to win 2 games.
We'd have to win out, which would be the Rams and the Cardinals. Because we already beat Seattle once.
Dude, so we can't, we're not going to, unless we finish with a better record than Green Bay, our playoff chances are really limited unless we win the division. You know what I mean? And then we can win the division and get in on that 4th wild card or 4th spot, probably because that's the way. Well, I don't know. This NFC South kind of sucks too.
But here's my opinion, bro. And this is just my opinion. You may not agree with me, others may not. Even if we do win our division and win out and we get to the playoffs, we win the first round. I don't think we're going to win the second round. Since we've been on the run with Shanahan and going to these championship games, the Super Bowls, we've played more football than a lot of these teams. We haven't got as much off time as these guys. So our players ain't as rested as them. And I hate to say it, but we're one of the oldest teams in the league now.
Yeah.
And it flipped over like a year and a half, bro. Where we were the youngest team to now we're the oldest team. You know what I mean? Like
I think that might be Green Bay right now. Might be one of the younger teams.
And so.
And they whooped our ass, just like Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
With that being said, I don't think, even if we do make playoffs, I don't think we're making a deep run. I don't think we're going to a championship game. I don't think we're going to go to a Super Bowl. There was teams like Baltimore's got almost 40 days more rest time than us. And I'm not saying that's an excuse, Kansas City's right there with just as much playing time as us, with not as much rest time, but Kansas City has every year gotten rid of their players and picked up new players to replace them. They don't stick with the same roster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we've done that, and as faithful fans, we've been kind of like, fuck yeah, we got our same roster. We're gonna run it back.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Do it this year. The city got rid of him. Oh, he's done. We got moving forward from KC. Why'd they get rid of him? Fuck it, he's with us now. We're gonna win it now.
We are like, I hate to say it, bro, but like as fan, like being a fan is like you're a dick rider. Like you did, you know what I mean? Like you dick ride for the team. You feel me? I didn't like that one. Not you specifically. I'm saying like that's what I tell people. Like we like a lot of people do it a little more than others. Like for like unproven players, but I try not to. I really try to believe. I really try to go with I wanted to see this team like do something. Because I wasn't physically able to go to games back in the Harbaugh era or even buy jerseys for that era. To where I'm like, we've seen that team and those players not get those rings that they deserve. I would hate, bro, and that was my fear last year, bro. I was like, Kittle's not going to get a ring. Warner's not going to get a ring. Bosa's still young. Ayuk's still young.
Frank Gore
never got one. Bowman never got one. Willis never got one. And Bolden. Wait, he got one in Baltimore, didn't he?
Justin Smith.
But Ray, so all right, imagine. Let's say, in order for the 49ers to get any kind of positive traction, right, we need health, right? Let's say Brock Purdy comes back next week.
Sign Daniel Jones.
Okay, well, let's say Brock Purdy comes back next week. Let's say they do that, right?
But that's not going to change. He's still got to learn the system.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Yeah, especially you hear. I just see Josh Dobbs do an interview. Obviously he was going to get some people trying to talk to him, like just in case. And he said that he's starting to understand the system a lot more too. And I feel like that's what Kyle Shanahan literally holds seniority in the system over potential, because Brandon Allen's been there longer than Josh Dobbs.
Bro. Yeah,
that dude's an astronaut. He's like he worked for NASA. They call him the Patstronaut.
Like me and you.
Me and you, yeah. Yeah, like an imposter. Like if he just walked in and got the job. It reminds me of this old episode of Seinfeld where Kramer goes into this building to take a shit. And when he's done taking a shit, he walks out and and the whole office is having like a meeting in the hallway. And they're like, all right, go team, let's go. And he's like, and he just follows them, and like they start handing him like shit to do, and he starts like acting like he has the whole ass job there. And then he's there for like 2 weeks, and then they finally they take him into the office, and they're like, "Hey, what exactly do you do around here?" And he's like, "Oh, just taking care of business." And they're like, and he's like, "I'm sorry I have to do this, but I'm gonna have to let you go." And he's like, "I don't really even work here." And he's like, "That's what makes this so difficult." He's like hella awkward.
Yeah.
I feel like that's Kyle Shanahan right now, bro. But so, all right. So let's say team gets some of these guys back. I've seen a lot of people contributing in this game to the injuries, right? So let's say Brock comes back, Bosa's back. Those two are there, right? A lot of people say those are the main factors in any game. Either of them could take over a game, blah, blah, blah. What do the 49ers have to do to start winning?
Win?
How do you – for me, right, I started to realize that Kyle Shanahan's system – okay, so the offense, right? Offense is to score. I think what the thing that's holding Kyle Shanahan's system back, and this is what we're going to realize, or not realize, right? But we're going to see if Kyle Shanahan can change, especially if the 49ers don't fire him. Like everyone thinks they're going to keep him for another 2 or 3 years. I feel like he's obsessed with controlling the clock, and he's not obsessed with scoring. And he should be able to score from any position on the field. Like maybe not behind the 50-yard line, but once you get into the 50, like he needs to have plays designed to score from any point on the field, because his red zone offense sucks, right? So regardless of who the Avengers are, if he is the coach everybody says he is, he should be able to take anybody on that roster and elevate them and put them in position to make these plays. He says his system works. We see Jimmy Garoppolo come out and say his plays fucking suck. You know what I mean? We see Brock come out and execute his system to the highest, extent we've seen anybody do it. So I feel like there is room for growth, but his obsession with controlling the clock has to stop. It has to come with tempo and just getting downfield fast and scoring from any position on the field. You know what I mean? Like any point, like fuck the red zone, bro. Like score from the 25. You know what I mean? Like you got to start figuring ways out and then start leaning on the run again. Start incorporating more Mason. Now, a lot of people said that going into this game, and he completely did the opposite. So I don't think there's any hope for the Bills going into the Bills, but you know.
So this kind of takes me to a conversation, meaning you've had an argument, meaning you've had over and over on this podcast. So you said we've seen Brock Purdy's ceiling. And I said, how? You know, he's still playing. He's still got potential to be better. He can still win. I think we've seen Shanahan's ceiling.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I agree with that.
I think, you know, Shanahan's good enough to get us there. He's not good enough to win it.
Yeah.
You know, he could coach a team to get there. He could coach a winning team and get the team there. He just can't coach it. There's something. I mean, maybe he goes home and has nightmares of something that happened when he was a kid, and you know, fucking Don Shula fucking beat his dad or something in a big game and laughed or something in his face afterwards, and a fucking nightmare that's stopping him from being able to fucking finish a game.
Hey, you know what I heard a lot of people saying too is that he approaches the offense from the point of view of a wide receiver. Trade me. I remember him in the club saying no to going back to the night. And then he got his money. He switched up, and everybody's been following in his footsteps. Debo's washed. He sucks. His stats are absolutely terrible, and he's supposed to be in the best shape of his life. He's the first one that's got to go. I think the culture has to change, right? And I know you might not like this one. I've seen a lot of people calling it ripping the Band-Aid off, right? And that's why I feel like I think we need to part ways with Trent Williams as well. I feel like as good as he is, and like just like how some people say Kyle Shanahan's our best option, and Trent Williams might be our best option. I think the whole offensive line needs to change. I think the whole identity of the offense and the offensive line, the whole culture within that offensive locker room has to switch up. I think the boombox got to go. You know what I mean?
I would agree with you, but we ain't drafted nobody to be able to fucking just cut Trent.
So,
and if we do draft people,
we're talking about next season. That's what I mean. So
they're not just going to be able to come in. Linemen don't just come in and fill.
Dominic Cooney did.
One guy. How many other guys have? You know what I mean, we've drafted a bunch of.
But that's the thing, though. That's the thing, right? So Trent Williams ain't getting any younger either. He can barely play any of these games. When was the last time he played a full season?
But we got him under contract for another 2 years.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, but I think the culture just has to change.
And if we cut him, we own him.
I don't know.
We guaranteed his contract.
Yeah.
The remainder of his contract.
But yeah, so okay, so this is what we're looking at then, right? So if they don't, what was the other thing you said right prior to that about Trent? You said not just backing him up, but Kyle Shanahan doesn't draft like that for offensive line. So let's say Kyle Shanahan doesn't change his draft philosophy. He doesn't change the culture in the locker room.
Did you say philosophy?
I said draft philosophy and culture in the locker room.
You want philosophy?
And then, so they don't change nothing, right? They're keeping Trent for another 2 years. They're keeping Debo for another year. They're keeping Ayuk for another 4 years. They're keeping Kyle for another 3 years. They're keeping fucking Kittle and Warner and Bosa, just like they did this year. So what changes? You know, like the offense doesn't change. They bring in a new fullback, but they keep the same system. You know what I mean? That just holds the, like I've seen a lot of people say today, like where was Jacob Cowing and Ricky Pearsall in this game?
From what I see, yeah.
We're down receivers and they got this full fucking running punts. Like, you know what I mean? They should be pulling somebody from the depth chart to be fucking running these punts back. You know, it's a first round receiver, round Rendo.
Mason. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think Debo's washed, bro.
Again, I give up on Shanahan, his coaching. As a new fan, not knowing shit, I think Kyle Shanahan's coaching philosophy at this point is shit. So, again, coming from a new fan. So,
yeah,
like it or not, that's my opinion, and you can't change my opinion. The only one that can is Shanahan, and he ain't done it.
Well, so you and I, well, one of the things you keep saying is we're in a silent rebuild. What is the rebuild then? And what is the goal now? Are you cool with them benching Brock and CMC for the rest of the season? I don't see how that helps them at all.
They're not going to do that. But
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people throwing that out there this week or after this game too.
the rebuild, I mean, they're team's going to look different next year. You know, I would say they chop AU. They might have been chopping AU, but his injuries, they got to keep him now.
So what would your ideal? I like that. Let's do that. What does your ideal offense look like next year? Like you can say potential like a draft like specimen prototypes.
I don't think we're gonna have Debo. I don't think we're gonna have Juszczyk.
What do you want though? Like how do you want it to look? Like how do you want it to look with the guys you got right now, and then you could like project like what positions you think they'll put depth at or try to bolster.
I don't know. I just think Debo's not gonna be there. Juszczyk's not gonna be there.
This is what
we've been saying. Kittle needs to go, but I think we should hold on to Kittle and let him.
I like that you said that, bro, because I hella changed my because he's the only 49er like actually like standing on business this season.
I think, well, not only that,
like veteran 49er, I think.
I feel like Kittle just needs that Super Bowl, bro.
He deserves
ever since that first one when he lost it in 2019.
But I said that last year, bro. He let me down, dude.
He'll be back.
That's Shanahan's system.
His role was minimal. 2 passes.
That's Shanahan's system, bro.
2 receptions. So I think keep Kittle, let him play a lesser role, not depend on him so much, not run our offense through him so much. You know what I mean? And just let him get that fucking.
Okay, yeah. So this is how.
Let him try to get that last fucking shot to get that super. You know what I mean?
I know
whether he gets fucking.
I know it's premature to like look ahead, right?
20 snaps a game or 3 snaps a game. Let him stick on the team until he gets that fucking ring, man. That's all he needs is that ring. Man.
Yeah. So you could potentially.
I don't care about anybody else.
You could potentially
let Kittle get that ring.
Yeah, you could like essentially like he'll always be tight end number 1, but you could potentially look at him as a tight end. So this is how I would look at it, right? I guess.
And Fred's right there too. Fred, do it for Fred.
Well, I wanted to.
Kittle.
So. My thing, let's say if you go best possible option, right? Like you said, they got Trent for another 2 years. If he doesn't try to pull some bullshit, right? So let's say you got Trent, you got Dominic Purdy. I know he didn't have a good game today, but this was his first like bad game, I think, all year. He got a couple penalties, I think, from what I've seen. You continue to bolster the offensive line, right? We need to get the best possible option.
What do you mean continue? Because they never started to bolster the offense.
Well, they did with Dominic Purdy this year. So you continue bolstering that right side by getting a right tackle in the draft, like your best possible option, right? So you go out there with Trent, Purdy, a new draft pick, best possible option in the draft. You got Brock under center.
You're gonna need to find. That's the blind side. So you need a solid guy on the blind side. So that's what makes Trent so special. He's the blind side fucking tackle, and he hasn't allowed.
So let me ask you this though. So if Trent was nearly on the market this season, what's to say is his heir apparent? Like he's gonna eventually retire, and then somebody else is gonna be. Who's to say that dude's not gonna be like looking for a new contract with a new team as well, just like Trent did this season? You know what I mean? Like there's always the next man. Like there's always the bigger fish in the pond. Like,
but are we gonna have the money to pay the next man? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is we should be drafting and investing in linemen as, reserves or backups, but with potential of them coming in to be the next guy up.
Yeah.
Right now, Shanahan's whole philosophy is I got my starting 11. That's all I'm concerned about.
And he's never really invested in the offensive line.
His bag of tricks is at face value. Anything beyond that, it's. And, I brought up him losing his coaching staff. Now he's losing his starting players. And everything's just going to shit. He has nothing to say for it. People didn't like up and wanted.
And if I think the CMC issue, I think obviously he's not 100%, but he's also not game conditioned. That takes time.
I just think, why is JP obsolete now?
So my thing was, okay, so next season, JP needs to come in as the number 1 running back. You need to stop playing favorites, Shanahan. Like, CMC can still be on the team. That shouldn't hurt nobody's feelings. He could be a captain or whatever. Like, I don't even know if he's a captain, but I think your number 1, your offense should go through your tight ends and your running backs. That's how I feel. And then so vice versa. I think similarly they should go for a dynamic pass catching tight end and go more two back. I've asked for this before: 2 tight end, 2 back. You know what I mean? They need a number 2 tight end that can literally. He doesn't need to be the best blocker in the world. Like he doesn't need to be the next Kittle when it comes to blocking, but he needs to be able to bring that catching ability like Kittle to the offense and let Kittle sit there and pick his plays. Like you were saying, maybe it's a few stabs here and there, but I want Kittle to retire at 49er, bro. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he stands on business, just like you said, Fred Warner on the other side too. But I want to, just offensively. I think these dudes need to kind of be like, hey, let's take a step back and let's even Shanahan needs to do that. Like, let me coach and build this team like how I did before. That doesn't mean I need to get rid of these guys because I don't think you're going to trade any of these guys for that much more. But I think Debo has to go culturally. So I don't know if that's a trade or a cut. I don't know about like the cap shit on that. Like that's where I get lost. Like I'm just speculating. I'm just being a fan, right? But I think Debo needs to go for sure. And I think they need to cut ways with the whole fullback position. I think the offense needs to evolve out of using a fullback. And that means you get 2 tight ends on the field more.
Either like that or you get 2 running backs.
2 running backs on the field, right? So just eliminate the fullback position from this system.
They're saying JP could split out wide too, like McCaffrey. So why not go fucking, 2 running back set and then go empty backfield and split them both out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. There's a bunch of options.
I don't know football. I'm a basketball fan that wants to do a 49er podcast. I actually don't even like basketball. You ever watch cricket?
Personally, like not like with intent or like a whole game, but I've seen it. Like I've seen them playing over there at First Park.
It's my favorite fucking sport.
Cricket.
Yeah, this Niner shit is just a part-time gig for me. Cricket's my life.
Who's your favorite cricket player? Abdu fucking Akbar.
Nah, Rajinder Rajinder.
Rajinder?
Rajinder.
That's a real dude. Well, you know what? Since the fucking Niners suck, Ray, let's watch some videos.
Let's say some jokes. I'll tell you.
Gender? What gender?
Rajinder.
Rajinder? What does that even mean? Have you seen? Is this the?
For a profane, sexually explicit rap song made by several football players, the 7th Floor Crew.
That she was getting fucked. I understand. No. What wish you had? What you do? Get head, drop my drawers and let her see my third leg. Chilling on the 7th floor. I gotta let these chickens know we breakers in the house and I finna make these hoes choke. I'm a balls on my dick, I'm busting up quick. On the face, on the chest, stick my dick between the breasts. Come on, fellas, let's get weird. Stick your dick up in the ear. While I'm laughing at these guys are second nut all in the eyes.
That show's hella funny, bro. Did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
Hella graphic. They said a fun fact of the day: Greg Olsen was in a rap group at Miami called 7th Floor Crew. Let's see what else I got here for you, Rick.
Turkey, ladies and gentlemen, dark meat, fattier, juicier. I love that dark meat.
I know you
That's
do.
what I went right after it with that leg yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, there was no thought about getting a knife and getting those breasts with the white meat. It was all about that leg.
You prefer the dark meat as well?
I have always preferred dark meat, but if things don't work out this Thanksgiving, I think I'm going to switch and start going after the white meat exclusively. And I mean that sincerely.
Gravy on it. It'll be fine.
No gravy. You're going to work with it. You just got to, I think I can work with the white meat. I do. You can trust the white meat.
It's pretty good.
Can you trust the white meat, Ray? This is just random shit that makes me laugh, bro.
I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
Treat yourself a round of sausage.
Sorry, that's not it.
Give yourself a round of applause.
Yeah, that's it.
That's like that, bro. Gee.
The high as fuck right now, bro. I'm tripping. Sorry. That was a quick little interlude. I had to do that real quick.
Yeah, I think it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. But, I mean, ultimately, right, like, a lot of people are saying that a lot of the feedback I was getting was that we don't have no faith, Like, you guys are downhill, like you lose one game. Well, now we lost 2 games. We lost 6 games already. This is a trend I've seen with Shanahan, bro. I think he's a 500 coach, and I feel like a lot of people are like,
I could say he's a 500 coach. I just don't think he'll win the big game.
Well, if he loses this season,
He can't win when it matters.
if he has a losing season this season, he's 4-4. 4 winning seasons, 4 losing seasons. He's a 500. You know what I mean? It's just an average mid coach, bro. Like the numbers don't lie. It's there for everyone to see. You know, the hips don't lie either. Who else didn't lie? Abraham Lincoln or George Washington? Did you know George Washington was a slave owner?
And Lincoln was not a crit.
I got a question for you, Ray. Just sometimes when I'm at the gym and I go to like take a drink of my water, I'll go to take a drink, right? And I don't know, like I probably do this all the time, but then I realize like I had this like random thought, right? Like where do you look when you take a drink of something? Or do you close your eyes? Where's your beer? Or you like I was like, cause like sometimes like I'll find myself like looking at like something like this, so like I'm probably like going cross-eyed.
I thought you were going somewhere weird with this.
No, I'm just like, I know. I'm like, no, like I was just thinking about it the other day. I'm like I wonder how, like, if somebody catches me doing that, like, do I look weird as fuck, you know? Or like, cause like sometimes like I'll be in the gym and then I'll go to drink water, so I'll be like this, but then like somebody will be looking at me, like, so I'll make eye contact with them, like, you know what else happens to me too? I'll get a wedgie. But like, you know, like in gyms, right? They have all the TVs like on one wall. Like generally, like everyone's like all the machines, like everything's kind of facing that direction. And so I'm working out like in the front, and I'm facing the TV, and like I just feel like this just man, like mean wedgie. Like it probably looks like I got a thong on, you know? Earthquake. And I'm like, I don't want to pick it out because everyone's gonna see me, you know? Like I'm hella self-conscious. Does that ever happen to you? Yeah, you're on track. Did you like pay attention to it at all, or just kind of glance over it?
Aliens in the ocean, or
Well, they just did that big old hearing this week. I said it in the group chat. It was like a little, like quick little one. I've been following it, huh?
I was watching some shit on it. It said we can't even keep up with it. Our technology up with it. They're trying to reverse engineer it, but they've got like one that they've reverse engineered.
Yeah, and he said that they have biological beings, and it's like nothing that we don't know before, but I don't know. Like my girl was asking me, she's like, why wouldn't they just tell us? And I'm like, to me, I think the reason why is I think his religion still has a lot of power over the world. And I feel like if you were like, I feel like that shit would definitely like fuck with religion. Can you imagine, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know.
Or was it before that? I think they did a psyop on the fan base, bro. I think it's all liberal fucking cuck shit to get the fucking fan base to love Kyle Shanahan. I'm over it. Ray's over it. Fucking sick of it. I knew this was going to happen. I fucking called it last year. I said it was Shanahan's last dance, and they just don't want to admit it. 49ers season officially might be down the drain. I know there's a few of you out there still holding on to hope that the 49ers could beat the Buffalo Bills next week, but at this rate, it doesn't look like the 49ers are going to win another game, even if Brock Purdy comes back. I don't know.
I don't think the 49ers could beat their way out of a wet paper bag at this point. I think Shanahan is trash. No one better, but he's trash.
Would it be too far-fetched to fucking...
We got the best piece of trash out there.
Would it be too far-fetched to say we probably won't win another game this year?
It's Chicago.
I don't know, bro. Earlier in another episode, I think I said we'll never lose to a quarterback who paints his fingernails.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think we're going to lose to a quarterback that paints his fingernails.
I think Chicago's the only game that we got like a go-ahead on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything else is fuck.
You think so?
Yeah.
They got a pretty good defense, too, from what I've heard.
Yeah, but they're kind of still putting it together.
Hey, how come there's never been a superhero based on a monkey? Which one?
Kind of relates.
No, I meant like a Marvel superhero. Like you got Spider-Man, you got fucking Batman, you got Black Panther, you got Ant-Man.
It's racist.
Did I ever tell you what my favorite soup flavor was? Nah. They canceled it. Did you know that?
What?
Oriental? You remember Top Ramen, Oriental? Yeah, they don't make it no more.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I guess because they said it's not woke. So they changed it to soy sauce. And they said it don't taste the same either. Yeah, lastly, actually, yeah, I was going to ask you, did you see fucking, what college was he going to? There was a college player that he messaged the coach's daughter on Instagram, and he was like, "You want to see this horse?" And he sent her a picture of his dick. His name is a Keanu Coat. I was gonna ask you if you've seen that shit.
No.
These would have hit later. These would have hit better on a Henny and Coke episode. Nah, but I don't know, dude. I'm like it's hard to say like the season's done for because we have to go through this whole season and then see what happens, bro. But I mean, honestly, I feel like coaches used to get fired for way less. Just surprising me. So, but I'm excited. I'm like I'm not like down in the dumps. Like yeah, like it.
We got to remember, Shanahan did get a fat ass contract right before the season started, so or at the end of last season.
Well,
so.
you and I kind of criticized that too last year.
Yeah, we just got to remember that. That's not like.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, I'm at the point where like I look forward to all the drama this brings too. You know, that's what makes this fun. Like we to bring it full circle. You know, like I said, we do get a lot of people that actually agree. Like it's like 50-50, and that's why I laugh because what'll happen is in the comment sections, people will take our sides and like start arguing. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'll just let them do their thing. You know, like
and people feel the same way. You know what I mean? Not everybody does. Some people do. So.
Yeah, and that's what our whole goal was with this podcast was to drive those types of discussions and bring that to the table because that's what we do. That's all we could do as fans, right? Me and you talked about it earlier. We talked about being new fans, right? Like we've been fans of this team longer than Kyle Shanahan has ever been any way tied to this team. And we'll be here a lot longer than Kyle Shanahan. That's what we are. We're red and gold till we're dead and cold. That's it. That we are Niner faithful, Niner Nation, bang, bang, Niner gang, all that shit you want to say. That's who we are. That's what we are. No, but ladies and gentlemen, for the 49 Problems, Kyle J. Vigil.
Ray J. Garcia.
Brought to you by the Red and Gold Till I'm Dead and Cold Podcast Network. 49ers season may be in the dumps, but we'll try not to be. And we'll continue to bring you new episodes and we'll continue to talk about everything that goes on with this team because that's what entertains us. And we'll continue to try to entertain you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for following us. And as always, go Niners.